Welcome to the channel, folks. Today we're diving deep into the world of sports, but not the highlight reels, not the championship wins. We're facing the dark side, the shocking, tragic deaths of athletes during competition. These athletes push their bodies to the absolute limit, and sometimes tragically, the price is too high. We're talking about 10 specific cases, 10 athletes, 10 moments where the world of sports stopped and held its breath. Our first story takes us back to the 1912 Stockholm Olympics, a time when the world gathered to celebrate athletic prowess and human endurance. Picture it, the marathon, the ultimate test of human endurance, a grueling 26.2 miles that push athletes to their absolute limits. Among the competitors is Francisco Lázaro, a Portuguese carpenter with a dream. He's not just running a race, he's running for his country, his family, and his future. He's running for his country, his heart full of pride and determination. Every step he takes is fueled by a deep sense of national pride and personal ambition. But the day is brutally hot, with temperatures soaring and the sun beating down mercilessly on the runners. Lázaro's pushing himself, coated in a mixture of grease and wax, something they thought would help him stay cool. This was a common practice at the time, believed to protect against the sun's harsh rays. The heat's just too much. The combination of extreme temperatures and physical exertion is overwhelming. Lázaro collapses on the course, his body unable to cope with the intense heat and dehydration. They rush him to the hospital, but it's too late. Despite their best efforts, the medical team cannot save him. He dies the next day, dehydration and heat stroke claiming his life. It's a tragic end to a promising athlete's journey. First marathon death in Olympic history. This event shocked the world and left a lasting impact on the sport. Lázaro's death sparked outrage over the lack of proper medical attention and precautions against the heat. People began to question the safety measures in place for such grueling events. This was 1912, folks. Sports medicine was in its infancy. The understanding of how to properly care for athletes in extreme conditions was still developing. Lázaro's death was a wake-up call, a reminder that the human body has limits, even when the human spirit doesn't. His legacy lives on as a symbol of the need for better athlete care and safety in sports. Let's fast forward to 1994, the San Marino Grand Prix. Ayrton Senna, a name synonymous with speed and Formula One racing. The atmosphere at Imola that weekend was heavy. The day before Senna's crash, rookie driver Roland Ratzenberger died during qualifying. On race day, the rain was coming down hard. Senna, known for his skill in the rain, started in pole position. On lap 7, disaster struck. Senna's car went straight off the track at Tamburello Corner, slamming into the concrete barrier. The impact was devastating. Senna was gone, before they even got him out of the car. The world of motorsport was in shock. Senna was more than just a driver, he was an icon. His death forced everyone to re-examine safety standards in the sport. This next one hits close to home for me. It's a story that has haunted the annals of football history and serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life. October 25, 1971, the Detroit Lions are playing the Chicago Bears. The atmosphere is electric, fans are on the edge of their seats and the stakes are high. Chuck Hughes, a wide receiver for the Lions, is out there giving it his all. He's a dedicated player known for his tenacity and passion for the game. The game's in its final minutes, the Lions are trailing. Hughes collapses suddenly. The crowd gasps, unsure of what just happened. Players from both teams rush to his side. There's a sense of urgency, a desperate hope that he will get back up. They call for the trainers, for the ambulance, but it's too late. The medical team works frantically, but the reality is sinking in. Hughes was gone before he even hit the ground, a massive heart attack. The stadium falls silent, a stark contrast to the roaring cheers just moments before. He had a pre-existing heart condition, undiagnosed. It was a ticking time bomb that no one saw coming. The game continued, even as Hughes lay dead on the field. It was a decision that would be heavily criticized in the days to come. Chuck Hughes, a young athlete living his dream, gone in an instant. His potential, his future, all vanished in the blink of an eye. A stark reminder that even in the prime of life, life can be snatched away in an instant. It's a sobering thought, one that lingers long after the final whistle. Shifting gears now to the basketball court, where dreams are made and legends are born. Reggie Lewis, a rising star for the Boston Celtics, was one such legend in the making. Known for his agility, scoring ability, and leadership on the court, he quickly became a fan favorite. In 1993, during a crucial playoff game, Lewis suddenly collapsed on the court, sending shockwaves through the arena. Fans and teammates watched in horror as their star player lay motionless. He was able to walk off with assistance, but something wasn't right. The incident left everyone puzzled and deeply concerned. A team of doctors initially cleared him to play, diagnosing it as a benign fainting spell. They assured him and the team that it was nothing serious. Unsatisfied with this diagnosis, Lewis sought a second opinion. This time, he was diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a serious heart condition that often goes undetected. The specialist warned him that continuing to play basketball could be fatal. He strongly advised Lewis to retire from the sport he loved. But Lewis loved the game too much to walk away. His passion for basketball was undeniable, and he decided to continue playing despite the risks. On July 27, 1993, tragedy struck again. During a routine practice session, Lewis collapsed once more, this time going into cardiac arrest. Despite the immediate response from paramedics, this time, there was no coming back. The basketball world was left in mourning. Reggie Lewis was gone at the young age of 27, leaving behind a legacy of what could have been. His untimely death was a stark reminder of the fragility of life. His death sent shockwaves through the NBA and the sports community at large, serving as a poignant reminder that even young, seemingly healthy athletes can be vulnerable to silent killers like hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. This next one's tough. The 2003 FIFA Confederations Cup, Marc-Vivien Foe, a powerful midfielder from Cameroon. In the semi-final match against Colombia, Foe collapsed in the center circle. There was no one near him, no foul, no contact. Medical staff rushed onto the field, desperately trying to revive him. Foe was pronounced dead at the hospital. The cause of death, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It was a devastating loss for Cameroon and the entire world of football. The image of Foe collapsing on the field became a haunting reminder of the fragility of life, even for those at the peak of physical condition. The Winter Olympics, a celebration of athleticism. But the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver were marred by tragedy. Nodar Kumaritashvili, a young luger from Georgia, was living his dream. During a training run, Kumaritashvili lost control of his sled. He was thrown from his sled, flung into the air. He slammed into an unpadded steel pole beside the track. The impact was horrific. Kumaritashvili was airlifted to the hospital, but he couldn't be saved. A young athlete, full of promise, his life cut tragically short. The tragedy raised serious questions about the safety of the Whistler track. This one's a gut punch. Hank Gathers, a college basketball phenom for Loyola Marymount University. Gathers had a secret, a silent threat, an irregular heartbeat. He'd collapsed during a game earlier that season. They put him on medication, told him to take it easy. But Gathers loved the game too much. On March 4, 1990, during a game, Gathers collapsed again. This time, there was no getting up. The crowd watched in stunned silence as medical personnel tried to revive him. Hank Gathers, just 23 years old, was gone. His death sent shockwaves through the basketball world, a reminder that even at the peak of their physical prowess, athletes are not invincible. This story takes us to professional soccer. Miklos Feher, a talented striker from Hungary, playing for Benfica. On January 25, 2004, during a match, Feher came on as a substitute. He helped set up a goal, earning a yellow card for taking off his shirt in celebration. Moments later, Feher slumped to the ground. His teammates and opponents immediately realized something was wrong. Medics rushed onto the field, but it was too late. Miklos Feher, just 24 years old, was gone, another victim of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. His death sent shockwaves through the soccer world. Let's talk about a legend, Dale Earnhardt Sr., the Intimidator. On February 18, 2001, during the final lap of the Daytona 500, tragedy struck. Earnhardt was in third place, battling for position. Coming out of turn 4, his car made contact with another car, sending it spinning into the outside wall. The impact was violent. 1 minute he was racing for the checkered flag, the next, he was gone. The world of NASCAR was in shock. Earnhardt's death led to significant safety improvements in the sport, including the mandatory use of head and neck restraints and the development of safer barriers. This last story takes us back to 1920. Ray Chapman, a shortstop for the Cleveland Indians. On August 16, 1920, during a game against the New York Yankees, tragedy struck. Carl Mays, a submarine-style pitcher, was on the mound. The pitch came hurtling towards Chapman, a fastball high and inside. It caught Chapman squarely in the head. Chapman crumpled to the ground unconscious. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Ray Chapman died the next morning. His death led to changes in the game, including the use of a wider baseball to improve visibility. Man, it's heavy stuff, right? These stories remind us that life is precious. We celebrate these athletes who push their bodies to the limit, but we also mourn them. So the next time you watch a game, take a moment. Remember these athletes, their courage, their sacrifice, and the fragility of life.